Welcome back to the Good Talk, where we talk about what's hot, what's grot, and otherwise, both Warhammer and again otherwise.
Boom.
We just got out of a game, John. It was Custodes against
versus the God. Look, acceptable losses. What can I say?
There's a lot to talk about in this game.
Yeah. It was fun. I had a lot of fun. I obliterated that first unit. I was like, Trajan thought he was so brave, and he's like waltzing up the board, thought he was the boss. I was like, no, so much firepower.
It's such a big unit, and you just went right through
The
it.
biggest of units. That was your downfall. Why? Big units, bigger target.
Just went straight through it, man.
It was a strong start for the Guard. Strong start, but boy, oh boy, was his brothers angry.
They have great rules, the Guard.
Yeah.
Stand still to get lethal hits, great rule. Particularly for this army that is known for spamming a lot of low-strength weapons.
Yep.
I don't know that incentivizing a parking lot is a healthy set of rules.
Yeah.
Like sitting still and shooting.
It's once you put the army together, like we didn't have Sentinels today, but boy, we're working on Sentinels. It's a key factor to the army. It helps get line of sight on those indirect targets.
Yep.
And gives a bunch of synergizing buffs. You can bring back these Sentinels, and they help screen as well. But it helps to play this mini game of you have things with Vox, things with Scout that are trying to get line of sight on these things that are helping all the interact that is playing that parking lot game in the back. But there's like a little mini game there. It's not all non-interactive.
I do like that it's thematic, that there's like cool keywords with interplay, that you have spotters and boxes, and that all feels good, but the end result of, well, I put all this together, and then some chaff goes and looks at you, and then my parking lot of artillery picks up all your models.
Yeah.
The fact that that is not only the optimal playstyle, but the playstyle that the book is written around.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, don't do anything in your movement phase, and you're just better. It's great.
Yeah. I think I get where they're coming from. I understand that, like, this is a thing that you could write a Guard book around. And they did.
Very Guardy.
I just don't think it's healthy for the game. And I think even casual games are going to be a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's so hard to balance indirect. Like, you either get run over like this.
It is.
Or you have enough indirect to just run other people over.
Right, and you know, with indirect being such a wide rule now, and having one faction completely focusing on it, it's gonna skew the perception of indirect. You know, one thing's broken, now they gotta nerf indirect for everybody, and now indirect for other factions, that was totally balanced, now totally invalid now. So it's interesting to see, again, this is only the first iteration. We didn't play every Guard unit. The Guard Codex or Index, I should say, is so huge. We didn't play all the models, so still many more games to be played. But Custodes, very awesome.
Oh, dude.
It feels very Custodes, very bullish,
so
durable.
Good.
Yeah.
When you look at the Index, you look at the strats, you look at the data sheets, it's easy to get in the mindset without playing games of being like, oh, well, 9th to 10th, we didn't really get better.
Yeah.
A lot of ways we got worse.
I mean, you can say that about like all the indexes, though, you know?
It's a bad mindset because once you play the game and you see the mechanics, the nuance, the subtleties, they're top tier. I'm going to go out and say it.
Oh?
They are dominant in combat because they have a strat to just fight first anywhere on an objective.
Good strat. On demand, fight first.
Objectives are where you play the game. So, amazing. You can do that with Custodian Guard, who then will also reroll wounds on that objective. So it is very hard to take Custodes off objectives with combat. It's very hard to fight them at all. If you charge them, you have to charge in 2 places, and you're only winning one of those fights. So good luck, dude. And then Trajan is just an absolute train. He's a powerhouse. He takes his unit
lived
to the max.
He actually lived.
He's unstoppable, John. He's the king.
He like blew up an entire like city to like kill Trajan. He's just the only one left standing.
The dust settled.
And
he's standing
like,
there, hands on his hips. He's like, what was that?
He had time to polish his armor before the dust settled, and now he's just golden, super clean.
He's so good.
Took 4 wounds. He's fine.
So good. Now, this being a Forge World army, largely, we're going to have to wait and see the Forge World rules, what changes. But with just what's in plastic, if you play the line of sight game with shooting, they're great. They're like almost unstoppable. It's only really Indirect that threatens them. So a very abusive guard list, if you spammed Indirect and you had the Sentinels, you had the screening, you could probably table Custodes in 2 turns.
Nice.
Without that, they're going to bowl you over, man. Most armies can't really withstand the might of Terra. So I'm super up on Custodes right now. I'm hyped. I think there's a couple of like quality of life changes that need to happen. The fact that you can't have wardens with a character in a Land Raider blows my mind. It just it boggles my mind in ways.
Because the transport capacity is 6.
And they start at 6.
Yikes.
They're 3 or 6, which everything in the index is like just play what's in the box. Just build the box.
Yeah.
And then play it. Yeah. And if you took a model and you made it a character because you can for everything, cool. Then you run 4. You got 4. So prosecutors, you can run 4s. Custodes and Guard, you can run 4, 5, 9, 10. Right? It's like great. Wardens. Sorry, it's a box of 5.
How about 6?
3 or 6? 3, that's the best we got. 3 or 6. Box of 5, 3 or 6. That's all we got. The whole banner thing, I was like, when you look at an OC system, you think, what is the purpose of the system? It's to make elite armies feel like they're more, you can have more ability to control objectives than Horde armies. Which, like, Horde armies, you just put a bunch of models on. Custodes, you don't have that many models, so they should have higher OC.
Of course.
They don't. They're OC2. And to take a banner to go to OC3, you lose a weapon. You just won't be doing. So that feels a little weird. There's some quality of life changes, but overall, I love the bones. I just wish we had a guaranteed way to get more CP, to be honest. A lot of our strats are
we're seeing that a lot, where like some of the factions just don't have a lot of CP generation. The cards are a big thing there, just getting your 1 CP for discarding one.
It's often too late, though. You discard it, and it's like, well, now for my opponent's turn, I have an extra CP.
Yeah, and there's some factions that just get it. Lord Solar, every turn, there's 3. Getting 3 every round, I should say. Yeah, so good.
So that's Guard and Custodes. We also want to talk a little bit about Grey Knights. John, you're hyped on Grey Knights.
Yes, I don't know where we want to start. Grey Knights index got released. It's amazing. It's one of my favorite indexes. It's very strong. No argument about that. We still have to see the points, of course, but look, strong characters. They are still mortal wound heavy. They have a lot of spells. The Librarian, dude, I want to take 3 Librarian and take
Trip Librarian?
Dude, Vortex of 3 Vortexes of Doom. There's so many more ones.
Just don't roll a 1, John. If you roll a 1, you're in trouble.
You can't think like that. You think 6s. You know how many mortal wounds you get on 6s? It's flat 6 plus like 3, D3 or something.
That's a lot.
It's something, don't quote me, but yeah, it's something crazy like that.
It's like ridiculous.
And then like Drago, insane. He can give +3 to charge.
Ooh.
So you're making a 6-inch charge out of Deep Strike. You bring a block of I think Terminators are the way to go.
So good. Well, because most of the characters go in Terminator squads, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. The majority of characters are in Terminator armor, so the mindset is, Terminators, go with Terminators. So the normal Terminator bodies and the Paladins, amazing. Paladins have the little transhuman thing going on where they get -1 to wound if you're higher strength. What else is there to say? I think the strats are all like top notch. They're so good. Mist of Deimos is a 6-inch move at the end of your opponent's movement phase, or you just put them back in Deep Strike. Everyone has Deep Strike. You can literally null deploy your whole army and just Deep Strike. You have ways to Deep Strike turn 1 with an enhancement.
Huh.
Yeah, dude. And that's not all.
Did you get rapid ingress with that enhancement? You go second. And you're like, sorry, bro, it's actually my turn right now?
Yeah, and so we're kind of seeing, this is the path of so many options. Yeah. It's going to catch so many people off guard. You're going to play this index for the first time in 10th edition, and you're not going to even be able to wrap your head around the possibilities.
It's too much.
Look, you can rapid ingress on your opponent's turn.
Amazing.
You're a little slow, but that's okay. But look, or you can choose the Deep Strike on your own turn, be 3 inches away, and how about just a little Vortex of Doom action and then just bolter spam, or maybe some heavy weapons, side cannons, whatever. Taken out, anything, they can't screen you out.
Do the Dread Knights,
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of chatter
Yep.
on these Dread Knights. They can advance, fall back, shoot, charge, they do whatever they want.
Yes.
They're walkers.
Very flexible.
And with your detachment rule, they gain fly when they advance. So they can like fly over buildings and
That's
stuff.
right. I didn't even
fly over
mention the
models.
army rule. It's so consistent.
The army rules.
They just get to where they want to be in a mission style where you have to be ready for anything, and you have to be in the right position at the right time to score those secondaries. These are kings. Kings. Amazing.
Princes amongst paupers. Grey Knights are looking to be tippity top notch. They
Yeah.
seem just generally good.
I will say, as well-rounded as I used to them being, they are kind of melee focused. They do a lot of damage in melee.
Yep.
They have some access to fight first, but not a lot. And then their shooting, as always, lacks a lot of AP, not a lot of ways to increase that anymore. And so a lot of AP 1 and 2 on your even biggest guns. The cannon did go up to strength, I want to say 10 or 12, but it's still not a las cannon, right? It's flat 3 damage now, so you don't have to like do any strats for the +1 damage. But AP 1,
You can run a Land Raider with las cannons.
that's true. You can run
You can run las cannons.
You can.
I feel like Custodes and Grey Knights are in this similar spot
Yeah.
of
You
there's
need
sort
to
of,
find your anti-tank somewhere.
right. There's 2 approaches to 10th, which is a few unreliable, super high damage, super high AP attacks. We'll see a lot of that tomorrow. And then there's we're gonna drown you in AP 2, very reliable attacks. And this
Yeah.
is like the Grey Knights and Custodes of the world, where the elite armies just it's almost a reversal on previous editions, where previously the chaff armies were like, I don't know, here's a million shots, you roll your saves. And now the elite armies are like,
Yeah.
well, all these hit and wounds, so actually, here's a million saves. Like, please make all the saves for me.
They need some options, right? Like, there's definitely not a lot of data sheets, so you see the condensing of some rules, so just so you have the tools available for you when you go to build your list. But still, it's slim pickings for some Grey Knight and Custodes armies. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. If you have any cool combos,
I'll bet they do.
let us know. There are a few. There are a few. Almost everything is worth taking. There might be 1 or maybe 2 enhancements that are a little shaky. Not a lot. There's some anti-demon when it comes down to, I think one of the spells has anti-demon. The Titan Sword that Drago has anti-demon 2. There's an enhancement that gives you an extra damage with demons on that character. Not the greatest. The other side of that is just the +1 to wound on everyone.
They'll never let go of those hatred
I know.
portions of the game. I'm surprised there's no like anti-chaos.
Right? All right.
Like, how is that not a thing?
It's
for
a
Deathwatch?
big faction. It's a big faction. You would think that you would see more. You see like Tyranids, anti-Tyranids now. You see.
Really? There's anti-Tyranid?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's about the Leviathan invasion, right?
Wait,
so
who-
it's like
Who has anti-Tyranid?
all the the new Space Marine models.
The Infernus?
Not the Infernus. Isn't there like not Long War veterans, but the Tyrannic War veterans or something?
Tyrannic War? Didn't those just go away?
There's definitely anti-Tyranid. Chat, help me out. There's definitely anti-Tyranid units or guns in the Space Marine Codex. I'm pretty sure there has to be.
Okay. You know
I'm
what?
not lying.
I'll believe you.
There's like on the Stern God vets, there's a specific gun, a specific ammo. It says Tyranids on it. You load it in. Anti-Tyranid 2. I'm sure it's a 4.
Awesome.
That's Grey Knights. I'm excited about them. We're going to see them on the table soon. Don't worry. Yeah.
All right, well.
People are saying the lieutenant does.
Why?
With the Venom Blade. Because he,
Wearing the nib parts.
yeah, the Tyrannic War veteran. That's amazing. Yeah, he killed like a venom thrope, and he took his venom and then like dripped his knife in it, and it's like now it's like a he took their poison and made it into their poison. He's like, dude, he's like,
Got the drip. Yeah, I got the dripping.
yeah.
The dripping. What is that? Sword? Oh, yeah.
I
Got the
hate-
dripping weapon.
I hate it. Hate it.
You don't like dripping weapons?
I think they see an opportunity to make a very cool looking model,
Yeah.
and they take it. And then they're like, oh no, we gotta write rules for this. Really hates Tyranids.
Quick, think of something.
Anti-Tyranid 4-up. Cool. And then it's like
ship it.
practically, the problem with these units, I think it's thematically very cool. The problem with these units is you're against that person, and they feel bad. They're like, really? You took the anti-Tyranid guy
you.
just for me? Or you play it against anybody else, and it's garbage. And you're like, there's no middle ground. There's no fun way to play this. Somebody's gonna be miserable. That's what I don't like about it.
What I'm imagining is the guy who runs it at a tournament, and like, let's say like he's not a great player. He's just learning the army, but he took everything anti-Tyranid, and then he lost all his games, obviously. And then there's an actually good Tyranid player accidentally loses all of his games.
Accidentally
Like
loses
he
every
dropped.
game.
Oh, I gotta go to the bottom. I gotta play all these bad players.
Worst day
and then
of his life.
and then he meets the bad player with all the anti-Tyranid stuff, and then loses again. And then that good player drops even lower, and the guy who finally got his Tyranid matchup goes to the top.
Yep.
That's what I imagine.
It's a great narrative.
That's what everyone
it.
should go for.
All right, well, I think we're ready for the questions.
Yeah, so first, I just want to thank Santiago for gifting 1 membership.
Oh.
You did that at the end of last stream.
Santiago.
Thank you so much. And now, let's get on to the questions. This is from James Darkness. Thank you, James. Great job with 10 Days of 10th. I'm watching all these games. How do you all determine points/unit balance between armies at this time? Are these armies somewhat balanced with insider knowledge?
Yes. So I think we can say that we have points, but we can't tell you the points.
Yeah, I'll repeat what Brian said yesterday. It's not 9th edition points.
Yeah. In terms of balancing the armies, it's tough. This has happened to you a couple times now, John. We had early access to datasheets that are just different now. So, like, we were looking at the Primary Psyker, who just gave you 4-up Inmol all the time before.
Can we say this?
All right.
Ha!
So, that's been throwing us off. It's hard to balance.
I don't know.
It's hard to balance. Also, we're playing 2 games a day, which takes
It takes a toll.
like 12 hours. And then we have to prep when we get home, and we're like, all right, time to prep for tomorrow. And then we prep for tomorrow.
Yeah,
And
we literally see the indexes.
that's our day.
Yeah, we gotta prep.
There you go.
Well, thank you. Thank you. This next one is from Rob O.
Robbo.
Thank you, Rob O. Now, just have to wait for Forge World rules to drop for second half of Army.
No.
What happens to Virtus Praetors going forward? Should we read into you not using?
So,
Yeah, why you did use first Praetors in your first game against me. What's your thoughts on them?
I think they struggle in a few ways. They have some very cool rules. When you look at the data sheet, you're like, wow, that's cool. Like, they can fly over something to do mortal wounds when you advance.
Yeah.
Very cool. If you give them a bike captain, they can just nope out of combat once per game. They can just, like, end of fight phase, make a move, just leave.
Wow.
Which is very cool.
That's good move. Like, that's things you want to see because fly, of course, got a little bit of a nerve. You can't just fly over buildings now. So getting that extra move somewhere is so cool.
But then you take a closer examination of the datasheet, and you see that they're T6. They're actually not even as tough as Terminators.
Wait, what?
The bike gives them no extra toughness.
Yeah, right. They're normal bodies. T6.
It's just a normal body. And then
What were they before? Were they 6?
Yeah, they're T6.
Oh, okay. Well, but
And
they
then
were 5 before on the normal body.
Custodian, yeah. So, and then you continue to closely examine the datasheet, and you see that they're actually just Custodian Guard with the Lance keyword. And then you look even closer, and you see that their 14-inch move went to 12. And then you don't take them. That's pretty much it.
It's like a pretty thorough example of what happened to a lot of similar units. And like, your expectation was so high because it's such a key unit before. And they just got hit with everything possible.
Yep.
Jeez.
The rules are very cool, and I want to play them. But I just can't do it again. I got burned. I saw how bad they were. I put them on the table and I was like, wow, that is... I would rather have twice as many Custodian Guard, to be honest. And here we are.
Yeah, maybe they might need some adjusting, right? Because I do want to see them on the table. Maybe it's just a points thing. Maybe they got to make some amendments to the toughness.
It's just weird. It's like, why are they move 12 Custodian Guard? It just doesn't make any sense.
I don't know, man.
What's going on here? Thanks, Rob.
Yeah,
good mention, though.
Good shout.
This next one is from Twilight's Death. Thank you, Twilight. John had a chance to look at Grey Knights. Thoughts? Well, hypermobility in exchange for killing power, in my opinion. I hate we lost hammers.
Yes.
You lost hammers?
Thank you so much, Twilight's Death. Yes, I'll take any opportunity to talk about Grey Knights.
Yeah,
of course.
Tell me.
Yes, hammers on normal squads. They're just nemesis weapons now. They're like generic. That's why I was so surprised that you got an option between spears and axes. I'm like, power weapons are power weapons, man.
I didn't.
There really isn't an option. Look, hypermobility, huge. Look, it's complete opposite of like Death Guard. Like there's factions that have no mobility. They have mobility to the max. I'm a little hesitant on the killing power. We'll have to see it. Their melee is amazing. There's ways to jack it up, but we're seeing melee not being the best. So, and their shooting is quite middling, right? It's a lot of storm bolters as we're used to. No more ways to really up that damage anymore. Still a lot of shots. And then the psi weapons are, so-so still. AP is lacking and cover is more prevalent than ever. There is ways to shoot out of line of sight, indirect, with those purgation squads, with those psi weapons, but again, it's indirect, so they're definitely getting like a 2-up, 3-up save. So we gotta play it and see. I think they're durable enough to play the game and not have to worry too much about killing. That's what I'm hoping for. Terminators, good characters, paladins. Let's go.
We are seeing an interesting shape to the edition where like power weapons going from AP 3 to 2 seems to matter a lot. You look at that as like, wow, okay. But then you play the game and you're mostly fighting Terminators, which takes them to their 4-up in 1 anyway.
That's true.
So really, it's a big deal against vehicles. So your 3-up save vehicle doesn't get a 6-up, it gets a 5-up, which we saw a lot today. Your 2-up save gets a 4-up, saw a lot today. But also, you think what else has a 2-up save and not an invuln? The entire Grey Knight army. You're all in Artificer armor now.
Yeah.
So the non-Terminators with a 2-up save, very big, with power weapons against them, they get a 4-up as though they had an invuln.
Yeah.
That's really good.
I mean, if I had to choose two stats to stack, it's mobility and durability. Super good.
Good stats.
Yeah.
Thanks, Twilight's Death.
Thank you. This next one is from Heis Rosenheim. Thank you, Heis. Yesterday, my brother and I played our last 9th game. Guard, me, versus Tau. First comp phase...
It's a lot of shooting.
...took almost 30 minutes due to deciding between 18 orders and 100 stratagems. Gee whiz. It was a great game, but looking forward to 10th.
Yes. This is a very good mention, Heis, because orders are more rare, I would say. They are much shorter range now. They're only 6 inches. Even for vehicles. Vehicles no longer give 12-inch orders.
But can you call them on a cell phone?
You can call them on a cell phone.
You can
pick up the box. Both people on both ends have to have boxes. So it's not like a tank has a phone. They should really install those, right? What's the antennas for? I don't know. And then yes, the stratagems are much simpler and straight to the point. I was a little remiss that I didn't have auto explodes or anything like that, but it is clear on what you need to do. A lot of indirect, a lot of targeting, focus targeting.
Yes.
And -1 damage maybe if you want to splurge a little bit. Doubt you'll have the CP. But yeah, both of us, we both had -1 damage. Never used it.
Didn't use it at all?
Yeah.
I threatened to use it.
I see. Yes. Yeah. I was threatened. Crazy. And then vecting the reroll.
Oh.
I gotta do that next time. That's so big.
It's like armor contempt, command reroll,
Yeah.
-1 damage. Those are like the strats that you're probably gonna vect the most.
Yeah. You 3 CP minus 1 damage. Is yours 2 CP? Yeah.
Don't even
That's
get me
crazy.
started. I would never do it. If you made it
Yeah.
3, I can barely do it at 2, John. It's like once per game.
And
at
then
2.
and then we settled that if you make it free, it's 0. It's
Up to 1.
up to 1. Yeah. Yeah. Good riddance, but and I'm glad you got a last hurrah there. 9th was very cool for guard. Short-lived, but I think you're gonna have fun with 10th. Get your basilisks, get your sentinels ready.
Have fun, dude.
Yeah, thank you. This next one is from Michael Cody. Michael Cody coming in with the next addition to the 10 days of 10th Miss. On my 5th day of 10th Miss, the Titans gave to me 5 golden nerds, 4 stinky boys, 3 Magnus wounds, 2 Brian sweaters, and a lion who died like a chump.
Oh, you got them all! That's amazing. Magnus was quite wounded. Look, that's awesome.
This is pretty great.
I know. Apparently he had to alter some just to make it work. But hey, I said,
I love it.
it looks
works.
great.
It's great.
You got the lion in there. We're proud of that. We take
favorite
those.
is that the lion died like a chump.
It was. Brian and I were both shocked that the onslaught Gatling popped off the way it did, and I was literally saying how I wanted to take the plasma too.
Boy, there are some strong opinions, John, about devastating wounds weapons and how they interact with the game. People have opinions.
Hey, I didn't have any anti. I just
no, but it's just like. Why? I think a lot of people are asking, why is this a thing?
Oh, sure.
That's a very common sentiment of like, did anybody ask for this? Did we need this in our lives? I like Thunderhammers.
No comment.
I think that's very cool.
Yes.
Thunderhammers.
Everyone was excited about it. We saw that on the community reveal, and we were like, "Whoo, cool."
That's cool. And
Amazing.
everybody applauded. Everybody was like, yeah, we
Great.
didn't ask for it, but we love it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Then you see some of the other stuff it's on, and you're like, oh,
Where'd that come from?
this is the shape of the game now, huh? Because it's game warping. It really does change how you play everything. And it devalues the Terminators that you're trying to play the game around.
It's like I used this before of like they took out Psychic out of the game because it's the shotgun in the rock paper scissors that they're building. So like you can't just nuke something with a ton of mortal wounds, but like this is the new shotgun.
This is a new shotgun.
This is the new shotgun.
Yeah.
It seems crazy. They might need to bring it back in line a little bit.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
Thanks, Michael Cody.
Thanks. I don't know where that came from. Yeah. Oh,
the lion died like
the
a chump.
lion brings up some
Some touchy subjects.
difficult memories.
Well, thank you, Michael Cody. Looking forward to the next one. This next one is from the Steelyard. The Steelyard says, don't clip your axe. Wait some amount of time for the data card updates when they make axes better than spears 95% of the time.
Look, that is a recommendation, but it's not mine.
They were so close to making it an actual trade-off. I'm gonna catch flack for this, but I love the AOSification of 40k, where in AOS
It's so AOS.
there are good choices between different weapon types. It's a meaningful decision every time. That's great. I love it. It looks like 10th edition. They're trying to do that. It's like, here's a weapon. Here's another weapon. They do different things. Which one do you want? Cool. And then they do this. They give me axes, and they're like, it's always worse. Have fun. Oh, okay. Well, all my models have axes, though, so...
That's the worst part. Like, you're fine making that decision. Like, okay, cool, spears, but like the models though.
Well, I'm kind of liking the idea of like just cutting off the blade and then putting on
It's a
top
fix.
and making it like a half and half kind of
Great
deal.
fix.
Like
Yeah.
because you could tell your opponent, oh no, it's an axe, it's just oddly oriented.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
like, oh no,
like
it's a
when
spear,
you-
it's just very flat.
Yeah.
You know?
What are you gonna say? That's an
fine.
axe? That's not an axe. If it was
not.
an axe before, it's not an axe
Not an axe
now.
now.
That's for sure. Can't argue that.
What if
Is it a
there's
spear?
No tip of the weapon. It's actually just a staff. You can't tell me what it is, because it's neither.
Well, thank you, Steelyard. This next one is from Amsterdam. Thank you, Amsterdam. Hey, Titans. Trying to figure out Overwatch in 10th. Is it still a strat? Can you do it for multiple units? No. What phase is happening?
Yes.
Thanks.
You want to get this one, John?
Look, Overwatch is a strat. It's after, if it's in the opponent's movement phase, it's after a unit moves. So you gotta stay on your toes. You're still playing the game, even though it's not your turn. Gotta wait. If you're thinking about an Overwatch, you gotta do it right after a unit moves.
Or before.
Or before.
It's at the beginning or end of any kind of
No.
movement.
You're thinking about charging. You're thinking about charging.
It's the beginning of or end of any kind of movement.
What if, if you don't move, you cannot Overwatch.
Correct.
Because you never had a beginning?
Or an end.
Why would you Overwatch at the beginning? I guess because you're moving away.
Range. It's at the beginning or end of any kind of move. This also catches the charge thing of you can't shoot them after they've made the charge because now they're in combat.
Wow, why'd you give this question to me? Wow. That's crazy. You're blowing my mind. I had to take a moment here.
So it's normal move, fallback move, advance, or charge move.
That's crazy.
Or when they get set up for any reason, or when you arrive from reinforcements.
And it says set up.
Yeah.
That's the
Which
thing.
means getting out of a trance.
Deep strike.
Yeah.
Deep strike is technically not a normal move, advance, or charge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going. Multiple units.
Yeah. Can you do it? Can you Overwatch activate multiple units with Overwatch? No. Only one unit can Overwatch unless there is a specific strat. There's a few that's like 0 at a strat, and it's free, and you get to use it again even if it was already used. There's a few of those in the game. Not every faction has access to that, but you'll see it. And then, of course, you can do it in the charge phase.
Or the move phase.
Good question, Hamsterdam. Thank you. This is a big one. So I'm glad you're bringing it up. It changes the game a lot. You got to stay on your toes. You got to be careful of what your opponent can do. Flamers are big. Even las cannons with a lucky shot, lethal hits, things like that.
One hit could become many. Yeah. It's a big deal.
Sustaining hits, yeah, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Thank you. This next one is from Ash Thompson. Thank you, Ash. Hey guys, how happy are we that GW have already nerfed the DW mortal wound spam even before points?
Is that true?
Earlier on time, bottom of newest index page.
So I forgot to tell you guys this morning. I was messaged last night, or sometime when we were asleep. That was like, hey, they put this out.
Classic.
So we didn't know. Yeah, they put this out. They fixed. So if you have devastating wounds, you don't get the anti-infantry 2-up. You don't get the anti-monster 5-up for using the strat.
But that's specifically on Deathwatch?
It's the Deathwatch strat, the Hellfire round strat.
Right.
That gives anti-infantry 2-up or anti-monster 5-up. That strat doesn't give it to you if you have devastating.
Everybody, applause for GW. Like, that is good reaction time.
Good change.
Good change.
Good reaction time. I
That's crazy.
would argue it's not enough.
Oh, yeah?
A unit without a strat still does like 18 more wounds.
I mean...
It just doesn't do 30 now or something ridiculous.
We'll have to play it. That's a lot of mortal wounds, but still...
A lot. Did you see my game against Adrian?
Yeah.
So he had a 5-up Finland pain, which offset a lot of it.
Yeah.
But it picked up half of a Terminator squad through a 5-up Finland pain.
Yeah.
Killed like 5 Terminators.
That's a lot.
For just some guys. Just some firstborn.
Well, they're specialists, you know? They need something, but like 18 mortal wounds is a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. Thanks, Ash. Mm-hmm. And I love the response time. Good,
That's cool.
Good on that, GW.
That's cool. Thanks for letting me know, Ash. I actually didn't know that. It's cool.
Thank you. This next one is from Fyodor Dengstoyevsky. Thank you, Fyodor. Hey, John, did you check the GK index? I look forward to trolling with the librarian with Termies and the 3-inch deep strike strat and sigil of
exigence.
Exigence. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Exigence.
Weird
Does
word.
what it did in 9th for a whole unit. Caldor and Paladins Rec 2.
Dude, you nailed it, and you even brought up the sigil of exigence. So cool. I am excited. I'm telling you, librarian, I want to double check now.
Can he take the sigil?
Can you? Well, yeah, of course you can take the sigil with the librarian or these other units. Not Caldor. But is the librarian psychic spell once per turn? Like, can I take multiple librarians? Because I totally would. I'm
Is it a
doubting.
thing on the right?
I'm doubting if it's capping.
Is it a weapon or no? It's a thing
No,
on
it's
the right.
It's a thing on the right.
So it might say
might.
choose one person with this ability each shooting phase.
Yeah.
But even still, like, you drop him in 3 inches away, and then he has the sigil of exigence.
Yep.
Which
Can't be shot.
When you target him, he just picks up and goes somewhere else
Yeah.
with his whole squad. So there's like
Oh my
no
gosh, no, dude, Bridger,
punishment.
you just missed the Deimos. You literally.
No.
Then they literally can't do anything. They literally can't do anything, Bridger. You drop down in your movement phase, 3 inches, shoot, and then in the end of their movement phase, you pick them back up.
This is gonna drive people insane.
And that's the big thing. That's only like 2 or 3 CP.
Thanks, I hate it.
I will say, as good as the Grey Knight strats are, there's not a lot of CP regen. Same as Custodes. So they're gonna run into that problem. But boy, oh boy, can you piss off your opponents? That's amazing. That's my goal now.
Some upset people. No
Thank
repercussions. No repercussions for anyone. They do whatever they want.
Yes, thank you. This next one is from Cloud MV. Thank you, Cloud. The smiley face.
Look, I needed that.
Aw.
And the eyes are kind of going in a little bit.
Yeah,
They're
right.
crossing
It's
just a
so
little.
cute.
Just a little bit. It's a tasteful cross.
They look kind of like sunny side up eggs.
Oh,
The eyes.
true.
I'm getting that big feel. Pupils are too large.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
off,
Dude,
and off center.
is there huge black pupils in your?
I just mean that's like the yolk. That's the yolk in the egg, John.
Oh, it's an inverted. It's like a yolk, and then there's the.
Just look at the eyes. The
Ignore,
eyes
ignore the yellow. Ignore
are
the
the-
actual color.
The eyes
we-
are 2
we
sunny
thinking-
side up eggs.
Is it hard boiled? Are we thinking
Nope,
scrambled?
Sunny side up. The yolk is the black. The white is the white. The yellow is the pan, and the smile is your spatula.
Oh, it's like a top-down view of the spatula. I got you.
Yeah.
Yes,
I got you.
We got there.
I see it.
Thank
But it also could be a hard-boiled egg. I'm just saying. just shoot and then they're like little peppers, little.
That grot in the corner, that's us right now. What is this?
How can something so sweet cause so much chaos?
I don't know how to read.
Those are just scribbles on that. You know that's just scribbles.
Hard to say. We can't read.
Thank you, Cloud. There's another one from Cloud. Thank you again. John, my boy, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for our Eldari/Dakari indexes tomorrow?
Yes.
11?
Dude, it is hard to surpass Grey Knights in excitement, but man, I am excited for Eldari and Drukhari. Drukhari, I'm actually excited to talk about Drukhari the most. Eldari, we've seen some sneak peeks from the Nick Nanivati game on the GW stream. They look good. They're saucy. We all know that. And Drukhari, what's gonna be them? You know, what's their identity? What are they looking like? Are they gonna play the same? Who knows? It's up in the air. I'm excited. We're gonna get them on the table again very soon. Very
Drukhari
soon.
have played so many different ways in the past.
Yeah.
It could be anything.
It could be because there's different branches of Drukhari, right? And they all do different things. They all specialize in different things.
Yeah.
And Drukhari, over the editions, they last, man. They just play the fundamentals of the game, and they usually can be competitive throughout the whole breadth of the editions. So I'm expecting nothing less. We'll see if we're disappointed or we gotta figure out some things. But I think it'll be good.
They age like fine wine.
Like fine wine.
Thanks, Cloud.
Thank you, Cloud. This next one is from Glucked. Look.
All right.
Yep.
Starting Nid's army with Leviathan. Ordered dual boxes. Need an advice. 2 Turvagons or Tyrannofexes, or 1 each. Trigon, Moloch, Exocrine, Hosprex,
Yes.
Toxicrin, Maliceptor. Also a lot of small guys and 6 zones.
Yes, I love these questions. I have thought about this quite a bit when I went to make some Tyranid lists. Look, Turvagons, the bunches are weird here. Turvagon, I think 1 is really good. It's another way to bring back more of your swarm. I think that's a key part of what the army is now, is big 20-man blobs doing your missions. Hard to kill, you're stacking buffs on them, things like that. Turvagon's going to help you bring some back without spending too much CP. Tyrannofex is another winner. So you want, if anything, you probably want one of these. If not, 1 Turvagon, a lot of Tyrannofexes. Tyrannofex, really hard to bring down, really great gun. You don't have a lot of flamers in the index, so there's your flamer right there, a really good flamer. Hard to navigate with a big monster. You got to also be careful of how many monsters you're bringing, because you're going to be giving up a lot of bring it down. Trigon is a big winner. Deep striking within 3 inches, we're seeing is very huge. This guy can just steal an objective from someone. He has a pretty good OC number. Moloch is also very good, but is situational in my opinion. Exocrine, also good to have 1, gives rerolls after shooting something. He shoots, gives rerolls to the rest of the army. Really awesome. I haven't looked too much of the hard specs. I kind of lead towards the Exocrine. You would have to read that one and make that decision for yourself. Toxicrin and Maliceptor? Maliceptor is still a big target. I feel like it's paying for the sins of the past. And it's quite durable, awesome durable. Good if you get them up close, but you gotta, I don't know, you gotta justify him, I think. He's gonna be a big target. I'm seeing you're missing Venomthropes in here. I would include Venomthropes and of course Zoanthropes. Amazing las cannons, so but are short range.
Why have they never paid for their sins? They just keep doing it.
Yeah.
They just keep sinning. Every edition, Zoanthropes do some new stupid thing.
They're brain bugs, dude. You gotta have brain bugs in Tyranids. They gotta be a staple.
Do we? I think a lot of us non-Tyranid players are getting tired of Zoanthropes. They're literally always good. They've never not been good, John.
Yeah, it's true. You definitely don't want as much as you took before. 6 is probably the max you would want to take. I really bring them for the 6-up invuln for those big swarms. But the las cannons, I feel like you really have to get in there. They only move 6. Fly is hard to get around. They got to be right in front of you to be able to shoot these guys. So 4-up invuln always helps, but
they're defensive las cannons.
I think they lost synapse too, if I'm not wrong.
That would be weird.
Which is huge.
Because they are brains.
Yeah, they are literally...
Why would they lose synapse?
I don't know. Maybe not. Anyways, I think you got it down. Yes to everything, except for the Maliceptor and Toxicrin.
Cool.
Thank you. This next one is from Maxwell Martin. Thank you, Maxwell. Titans, when should we expect to see the Forge World sheets for Custodians? Does this mean we're limited to the plastic kits for launch of 10th? How are you planning on including Sisters in your future lists?
We don't know any of the answers to Forge World, but we do know that Sisters in units of 4 models are good.
Yeah.
They stand in places, they screen,
That's right.
they hold objectives.
They're cheaper than the rest of your army.
They really hate Psychers. Yep, that's them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're seeing a slow drip from GW, right? So we're getting indexes slowly. I'm sure Forge World is not too far down the line. I would be shocked if it's, I don't know, over a month. But
well, I told them to get rid of Forge World. So.
Threw it out. Footnote, Bridger says throw it away. We'll see.
I did say to keep the Custodes, but that was like a PS.
Yeah, PS. Custodes are okay.
Thanks, Maxwell.
Thank you. This next one is from Novo Kyle. Thank you, Novo Kyle. Hey, Titans. I think I found the best ability name in the game. T-Sun's Hellbrute's ability, Arcane Knowledge amidst babbling insanity. You can't convince me of it otherwise. loving 10 days for 10th.
Yes.
It's a pretty good one.
That's
It's-
pretty good. I
yeah.
think this is the one that, so when someone does a ritual around a Hellbrute, they get like a refund on their ritual point. So that's amazing. I actually didn't know that was what it was called.
GW
That's so cool.
tends not to use super long names like that, but I like it. This brings to mind from Marvel Crisis Protocol,
Yeah.
there's an ability named Nobody Ever Accused the Rhino of Being Courteous. It's just such a long name, and it's just, he throws something,
I
that's
love
it. The
That's
ability
amazing.
name is longer than the ability.
Oh, that's what I love about MCP though.
Yeah.
They need to have that more in 40k.
Throwing things?
Yeah,
I agree.
That too.
There needs to be more throwing things.
Rhino in a China shop. Boom.
A lot of good Rhino names. Thanks, Novico.
Yes, thank you. This next one is from Rob Mitchell. Thank you, Rob. Berger, I was hoping you would bring the new Virtus Praetors. What are your thoughts on Quicksilver Execution?
Yeah, so that's the name of the ability where you advance over something and you do mortal wounds on 2-ups.
Yeah.
So every model in... I had to read it several times to understand it. Every Virtus Praetor in the unit rolls a 2-up for 2 mortal wounds each.
Yeah.
It's not models in the opposing unit. It's number of your bikes, counting the captain. It's not a ton of dice. Bikes have literally never been cheap in the history of Custodes. So you can anticipate them not being cheap. And you have to advance. There's no way to give that unit... I guess you could take the enhancement for advance and charge.
Oh.
So you could... Well, that enhancement might be infantry only. I'll have to check that. Maybe you can give that unit advance and charge. Probably that unit advanced instead of doing anything else for the rest of the turn. So I don't love it. It looks very cool on paper. And then you play with it and you're like, oh, can I afford to not do something with this unit for the turn? Probably not. So that's my opinions. I wanted to put them on the table. Perhaps in this matchup I could have. Because the guard kind of were a puppy who rolled over and showed me their belly.
We're friends. Why are you attacking me?
Our house! Get out! Keep me on
live
your
here.
toes. So maybe I could have, but to be honest, I think you would have just shot them. We wouldn't have seen them do anything.
They would definitely be a great first target for me.
Right, their speed
And they're much
threatens
harder
you.
to hide.
Their speed threatens you.
Yeah.
You would have felt threatened, and
Yep.
you would have killed them, and then we
Exactly.
would have seen them do nothing.
Yep.
Uh,
That's true.
which is not
He-
cool
he
either.
got us there, Chad.
Yeah, so that's them. That's Virtus Praetors.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. This next one. So, okay, this next one
Yeah. Mhm.
by Alex Alex. Unfortunately, the super chat came in at the very end of the
No,
stream,
Alexic.
and I was not able to
Alexic, are you here?
catch them.
Are you here?
Yeah.
Alexic,
so,
if
Alexic,
you're
if you
out
are
there-
in chat, please give
Just
us your
shout from the rooftops.
yes. Just
Yes.
at us.
Bellow your super chubbo.
From the heart, we would love
Yes.
to hear from you.
Just like that.
Yes.
We'll come back.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all.
This next one is from Theo von Rice.
Yep.
So my take is that if you have guard in your name, wait till this 10th ed beta phase is over. Your thoughts?
Oh no. Death Guard.
Oh.
Guard.
Oh, guard.
I don't think Carter weak.
Yeah, I don't think they're weak,
I just
guys.
think they're oppressive and abusive or bad.
Or puppies with their bellies up.
There's no in between, which is kind of the problem with Indirect. Is that like the balancing factor, well, there isn't one. So either you can leaf blower people or they get to you and they kill all your tanks.
Very true. Very true.
Yep.
Yeah, don't get too down, right? If you play these factions, there's options out there.
I would be shocked if a year from now Indirect was still the way it's written. Where it's -1 to hit, not -1 ballistic skill, and gives cover instead of gives +1 save.
That's a big, weird.
I would be shocked.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll survive. Which really sucks for this guard index. But keep in mind, everything that we've seen for guard, like all the strats and enhancements, that's one detachment. They could make a new detachment in the codex that's not dumb.
less dumb.
They could do that.
It's possible.
They have the ability.
50-50.
Oh, thank you all.
Yeah, like yeah.
Did Who's He What's It? Did they?
No.
No, they're gone. They hate us.
Give them some time.
Yeah, give them some time. Yeah, they may pop up again. Okay. This next one is from Team Hive Mind. Thank you, Team Hive Mind. Quick fix: remove ignores cover from Indirect. Eh?
Yeah.
It's a start.
It's a start, right? Because they get a bunch of things. Guard can line up, ignore cover. That's from Sentinels. They get sustained hits from the
Master
Bombardier. Yeah, the Master Bombardier. And they get the extra
AP from the strat.
AP from the Vox strat. And then they can always get the +1 to hit as long as they have... No, other way around. Vox for the +1 to hit, which I didn't use too much. And then the extra AP is the overlapping field of fire, where you shoot with one indirect and then everything else gets a extra AP. So there's a lot of things. Right? That might not even be all of them.
That's the weird thing about this book is they just wrote 1 million buffs for Indirect.
Yeah.
But this is systemically a problem. Indirect.
They should go back to the +1 save, not get cover. Because you should be able to get both.
And they should be -1 ballistic skill, not +1 hit. Because so many of them have heavy.
Yes.
It's like they rewrote Indirect to be penalties that negate themselves automatically.
It seems so intentional.
Yeah,
like these big tanks have heavy weapons. You don't want to move anyways. You're going to be hitting on 2s. Easy. Orders, BS.
So dumb to me that your BS4 artillery hits on 2s. Indirect. Your BS4
in
indirect
several ways.
hits on
Like
2s.
there's several ways to get to 2s.
So stupid.
There's several ways. Yeah.
I am frustrated. But yeah, Thanks, Hiveline.
Thank you.
Yeah, good mention.
This next one is from Polychrome28. Thank you, Mr. 28. Gee, that was a nerve-wracking turn 1. Bridger, why do you think wardens are 3 or 6? The datasheet says 3, 2, 6. Secret NDA'd points info?
Got him! Nope, I don't know.
Thanks, Polychrome. That was a nerve-wracking turn 1. I
It
agree.
was.
It
was.
I was pretty scared, John. I'll have you know.
were. I looked
was
into your eyes,
freaking out.
the windows to your soul.
I was like, oh my
and I was like, oh, this man thinks he's gonna lose.
Oh my God. I might get tables. I said this army's really good, and I might get tables. I was freaked out. I was frightened.
Yeah, I was actually shocked with you. I was like, ooh, I did some damage. But yeah, the slapback was harsh.
The fact that all the weapons are blast on your tanks,
yeah,
big deal.
Yeah.
That's what the second detachment should be. A bunch of ways to fall back and shoot with your tanks, or shoot blast in combat or something.
You know, that was a strat before. It's just, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Polychrome.
Yeah.
Thank you. This next one is from Sinlord. Thank you, Sinlord. Hey, Titans. I am a little bit sad about the Misericordia. Misericordia. And bikes. But I am pumped for the Blade Wizard. Can Custodes still use Galatis and Achilles?
If you get data sheets for them. And I am pumped for the Blade Wizard. He is so flexible. He's so cool. He gives you Hurricane Intervention for free, and you can intervene with something else and him. So you can spend 2 CP to intervene over here, and then Blade Wizard intervenes for free, and he gives reroll advances, reroll charges. He gives... I like him with the enhancement to fall back, shoot, and charge, and once per game advance and charge. Because now he's just doing it all. He just does everything. He's like, let's go, party bus, we're going to get in there. So I think that's great. Misericordias are basically gone, yeah. I thought it would be cute to have an extra attack weapon for Misericordia, but given that they gave more attacks everywhere, it's okay. I'm fine. Like, I'm happy to have 5 attacks on Custodian Guard. This, John, is where we should have been all along. And I've been saying it for years. I've been saying it for years. The fact that Vanguard veterans had double the attacks of a Custodian Guard blew my mind.
Yeah.
So now we're back in business.
Yeah. Take it
Kings
to
of
him.
fighting.
Take it to him.
Thanks, Sin Lord.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. This next one is from Emmett Mersil. Thank you, Emmett. How do you feel about Cortez with a unit of sisters to park at the back for his 2+ gain a CP when your opponent gains a CP as a result of an ability? Maybe instead of Alea?
Whoa.
So Cody has...
I haven't read his thing. Park at the back.
It still wouldn't...
2-up is it's on a 2-up.
But it's only when they get one from an ability. So it's like, I don't have a way to get an extra CP, but you do, so on your turn, I'm going to get one. Which
Yeah.
seems very good, and I like it. This is actually good tech. It's points-dependent tech.
It can't be that many points.
But it's... Oh, I don't know. I think Inquisitors could be expensive.
Yeah. How much? Give me how much would you be willing to pay for 2-up get a CP on your opponent's turn? Like what's the range here?
I don't know.
Like if you had to pay 200 points, would you pay 200 points?
No. What?
Are
Are you crazy? I wouldn't pay 200 points for that.
Okay, so not 200 points.
200 points is a lot, John.
But CP is so good.
It's
You need
10% of your
CP as
army.
Custodes. That's like that buys you a
An ice cream
minus
bar.
1 damage in your opponent's turn
Maybe.
on a 2-up.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how much I would pay for it. I would have to play around with it. It is very enticing. I think, Emmett, you've found something here.
Yeah.
We'll consider it.
This is what I like about all these new rules. There's like little tech like this, craziness. It's good.
That is cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Emmett.
Good job. Next one is from Big Kirsch. Thank you, Big. Hey guys, been hyped on the 10 Days of 10th. What do we know about other Space Marine chapters like Iron Hands and White Scars? Also, thoughts initially on AdMech. People seem to be comparing to Death Guard.
We're gonna see AdMech pretty soon. It's literally gonna be the next game at 6 p.m. Correct?
6 p.m.
That's awesome. Gonna be piloted by Brian himself. You checking the time?
It's 3. So
Okay.
in 2 hours and 47 minutes.
Boom.
Oh.
Iron Hands and White Scars. I don't think we've seen these on the table yet. There's some of the few chapters we haven't played yet.
No, Brian played White Scars.
Oh,
Yeah,
I think it was
like
literally
the
the first
second-
game. I think it was the first
Oh, yeah,
game.
it was the first game.
Yeah, because we played Salamanders for the second one. Gotcha, yeah. That's so cool. I don't know. I guess it's a lot of bike tech.
Well, they're Space Marines. They're just Space Marines.
Right.
Their named character is not on a bike. He's just a dweeb.
Oh, it's not?
The Khan,
They don't have cons on bike?
Corsair Khan
Yeah.
is not on a bike.
Huh.
And Khan on bike
It's just a captain on bike
is
now.
just a captain on a bike.
Interesting.
So they don't, yes, sub-factions lost some identity. They're just now named characters for Space Marines. And for everybody else, you can mix and match your named characters, as far as we can tell. So it's like, yes, they did lose some flavor. But there's nothing special you need to know about them. You just need to know their named characters within Space Marines.
Iron Hands, I'm sure you get a cool...
You get Pharaohs.
You get cool Pharaohs. He gives a 5-up fieldman paint to his squad. He's a tech marine, so he can +1 to hit a vehicle. So he does multiple things. That's cool. If you're going vehicle heavy, you want to fieldman paints. So it's a little more efficient than just having a normal tech marine. You get a little 5-up fieldman paint in a squad for your troubles. Yeah, it's cool.
Cool.
Thank you, Big. This next one is from James Reinhardt. Thank you, James. Minor, do retinue agents have a transport option?
They can commandeer anything, can't they? Isn't that like the whole point?
Commandeer, that's so cool.
Can't they just go in anything? Maybe not. I thought they had a rule like that, but I didn't look closely. I see a lot of the Agents of Imperium being quite good. I see them as like, you want this, full stop. In a lot of Imperial armies, like you'll want a Vindicare. If you're like Knights, you're gonna want to have troops. Maybe even if you're Custodes, you'll want to have troops. Like there's these all seem viable, and I think they can commandeer any transport because that's like what the Inquisition does. They're just like
They show you a piece of paper.
they GTA your ride. They're just like, get out, it's mine now. So if they don't have a rule like that, they'll probably get one because I thought they just did that. Thanks, dude.
That's cool.
Yeah, thank you so much. This next one is from Ogre Barbarian. Thank you, Ogre. Hey, your Titans. Happy that the Custogers will be able to play in 10th, though not be optimal. Still worried for my orcs based on what we know with Wag. Also, gonna pick up Leviathan and start Nids.
Nice.
Ooh, yeah.
Ah. Yeah, great time to start Nids. Bunch of new models on that line. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun playing with your new toys. Don't get too down about orcs. You know, there's gonna be something good. It's such a big index. I'm sure they'll have tools to deal with a lot of things.
Karate chop.
Karate chop or karate dojo
Or karate.
opening
You
soon.
heard it here first. Orcs
Yeah.
learned and then immediately forgot karate.
That's right. That's right.
Yes. Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you, Ogre.
Like, oh,
This next one is from Martin Easterman. Thank you, Martin. Bridger, I see you are wearing your Golden Boy costume this evening. So go get your Custodes and line them up against Dark Angels and see if the line dies with this 4++ feel no pain. Shields are up. A whooping coming.
so we can
Wow.
finally
Wow.
talk about the game that Brian and I played.
People were asking about
Oh,
it.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
everyone wanted to know.
Brian lost on turn 2
No.
very
was-
badly.
You thought the guard game was bad.
This
A butt kick in here.
this was a game that we thought we wanted to play on stream, and then we practiced it. We were like, oh,
The
Dark
lion went to
Angels can never win this game.
the lion did the thing where he's like a master of his own dojo and he goes to another dojo and challenges the master. There was no mercy in that dojo. I'll tell you, the crane kick right out the door.
There's so many anime references, I can't even pick one. This is like 50 animes.
He swept the leg. Yeah, you got wax on, wax off.
So it's just to explain why Dark Angels can basically never beat Custodes. They don't really have the shooting to do the business. Shooting is the answer to Custodes. If you charge them, they fight first, and they cut your unit at least in half. You will have at most half of your charging unit left, probably less. And then you just can't win now. You just can't fight them. Dark Angels are a fighting army. They're a fighting Space Marines army. And Custodes are purpose-built to kill Space Marines in combat. So, like, you're just throwing your army away into the meat grinder of Custodes.
Yeah,
So, take that, Martin.
it's rough for Dark Angels, right? Like even if they take speeders, it's not efficient enough.
No.
The strength is not there. Even if they take meltas on everything, it's like it's not going to be enough, and
Just doesn't
they'll
always
die
work.
immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, and it dies to our shooting. That's
Yeah.
a crazy thing. Because
Yeah.
the speeders aren't high enough toughness.
Yeah.
And we're just like... And the lion? You know what kills the lion real dead? 40 mastercrafted bolt gun shots.
Yeah, ouch.
Like, he has basically no defenses. All of his special rules, Trajan ignores. Trajan's like, oh yeah, I'm not -1 to wound, I'm not -1 damage.
Oh no.
I don't care about anything you do.
Oh no.
You're dead, and also you're dead, and by the way, you're dead. Sorry, Lion. I was here
no.
first. The Emperor made me first, and then he made you and regretted it. Oh! Oh!
Ouch.
Oh!
That's
All
a
right.
burn.
We're done.
Wow.
We're done dunking on Martin. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Custodes are great.
Brian
Thank
got
you.
dunked on.
Brian got dunked on so bad.
Wow. This is another one from Martin Easterman. Thank you again, Martin. Bridger, we all know that you
Keep
hid
coming.
Lions 4++ on the data sheet to confuse Brian. You're the cipher in the background. Bring it down. T from the inside. Wow.
It was me all along. That's why I got rid of Forge World. Was to really
God.
get down on the lion. I said, GW, get rid of Forge World and also make the lion bad.
It's a 3-up invuln, is it not?
No, he doesn't have a 3-up invuln, does he?
Lion has a 3-up invuln.
Does he really? That's all right. It's medium
I'm
good.
pretty sure. Yeah, chat. It's 3-up invuln.
I mean, he probably needs it, right? Because like, he's a big dumb monster that doesn't know
Yeah.
how to Kool-Aid Man through walls.
Yeah, and I mean he's only 9 wounds. You know.
Perfect for mastercrafted bolt guns, if I'm honest. Just
Sheesh.
gattle him down.
Yeah, he immediately goes to invuln.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's perfect.
crazy.
Yeah. Thanks, Martin.
Yeah, thank you, Martin. This next one is from Christos. Thank you, Christos. They should simply change anti-X to be a successful wound, not a critical wound to start with.
Yeah, when I first read that, I totally thought it wasn't a critical wound, but it totally is. Totally is.
It's tough because there's places where you don't want it to work that way, and there's places where you do want it to work that way. So like Haywire, you want Haywire to be anti with devastating, or Haywire type
Yeah.
things. You want to be things that used to be I shoot a vehicle and it's mortal wounds. You want that to still be in the game. So if you take away this interaction entirely, or like a Vindicare or something, right? Like snipers.
It's a chain reaction. You affect a lot of data sheets, and it's going to be hard to bring them all in line after you make this sweeping change, right? So it's definitely not as easy as this, but you're right. It's something they probably should have thought about at the beginning, in my opinion.
Yep. It's tough. Tough to tease it apart. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to thank Fancy Panda for gifting a membership. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Fancy Panda.
Thank you so much. Amazing way to support the channel. Hopefully, whoever got hit with a membership will join us for Tuesdays, our member-only show, where we play what our members want to see.
You can also check out last night's members only.
Oh, dang.
One members only video.
That's right.
10 days
That's
of
2
time.
indexes that those non-members didn't see.
Yeah.
We can see Bridgers suffering live on ice.
We had strong opinions before and after that game, and they were not necessarily the same strong opinions.
That's amazing.
Oh, thank you. This next one is another one from Martin. Thank you again, Martin. Going back to my DA Repulsor Executioner, what would be good to put inside? Eradicators, Termies? Desperate to make it effective. It's getting played.
Yes. No, Repulsor Executioner, quite good. This is the one that you can get back into, right? After you get charged?
No, that's a regular repulsor. Repulsor Executioner's
Executioner
special
different?
rule is about shooting the pew-pews because it's a big gun.
Oh, is it a supporting fire?
It like
It rerolls wounds for the target getting out after they shoot at the same target?
shoots good.
I believe. Or is it a reroll
Thought it was
wound?
just shoots good. I
On an
can
objective? Does stuff?
I can very slowly find this.
I'm
for you.
like getting these down. They're like so generic now. You see them in multiple places. It's like boom. Just gotta rattle them off. Does it
I can't even.
does it slow your movement down by 2 inches, and then you're advanced by 2 inches, and then you're charged by 2 inches? Huh?
I just can't.
I know that one.
You kill me. Okay, so I'm gonna open this index, and it's gonna take about. Oh,
but
opened fast.
there's 100 and.
well, we're just gonna go 165. No. 213.
I think you put eradicators in here for sure.
You think?
Because it's shooting termies or melee termies.
Repulsor Executioner.
You only fit 5.
Special rule. Each time it makes an attack that targets a unit below half strength, add 1 to the hit roll.
Ah, I know that one.
It executes.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense. Wow, I should have seen that
It's the
coming.
executioner.
Um,
Regular repulsor is the one where you can get back inside. Emergency combat embarkation, as opposed to the disembarkation.
not true.
Everybody get back in. Oh, we're getting charged. Oh.
That's a.
You know what I would put in it? The rest of your Dark Angels and go home.
Oh my god.
Oh, got him.
Yo! Call 911. Call an ambulance. Not for me.
I don't know. Like, it holds. It used to hold 6. Does it still hold 6?
Oh gosh. So I'm inclined to say
Jeez.
have a unit in the repulsor that is going to have the same target as the executioner. So you can do some whittling down. I'm forgetting what the eradicator's rule is, but maybe if it does more damage
Reroll
if it's
hits.
at full strength.
Eradicators will hit, wound, and damage against vehicles and monsters.
Okay. So, and the executioner has a Gatling?
It can have the
Or the laser destroyer. Okay, laser destroyer. So yes, maybe Eradicator, so you're shooting at the same big target. Hopefully you're not killing it right away, though, with Eradicator. You know?
I would not put Eradicators in it.
Really? What would you do?
This is a
Tell me.
long-range anti-tank tank.
Okay.
I'll put Devastator.
What's the
in it.
stay down? Okay. Oh. But like, why do Devastators need
Laser cannons.
But I guess you're
Laser
right.
cannons, John.
You're right, but
You just-
like,
I see your laser cannon, I raise you more laser cannons.
well, you gotta. Yeah, it's boring, but yeah.
Laser cannon.
Yeah.
Right?
You just
That's the
you just
answer.
look for angles, like long range
Put
angles.
devs in it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because you can move it, they get out, shoot, everything
No, I
shoots.
see,
It's
yeah.
laser cannons.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep. Thanks, Martin.
Yeah.
Next, first off, before we get to Siege Roots' super chat, I want to thank Siege Roots for gifting 5 memberships.
Oh, thank you, Siege
so
Roots.
much.
We appreciate it.
And then they also super chatted. So, Siege Roots, thank you so much. Hey, Bridger, how do we feel about Shield Guard? Would Trajan's Guard unit live with shields and the -1 D strat?
I wouldn't have shot at it if you popped the strat.
Yeah, I didn't have the CP for the strat.
Oh, you didn't have this. Yeah, it was first
didn't
turn.
have CP.
First turn.
And because I had to reroll damage against your
That's right.
Russ.
Ooh, that was a good
And
reroll,
I
too.
was at the time thinking about, like, was that worth it?
It was worth
he
it.
still
It was
had a Russ.
immediately worth it.
Like, if he still has a Russ with this?
If the Russ Trajan dies if the Russ is alive.
Bro. No, because the
He's
whole
so
unit.
dead.
Bro, the whole
So
unit's
dead, bro.
-1 damage, bro.
So
whole
dead.
unit. So good. No, okay, so I don't love the shields. I know +1 wound is nice against 3 damage weapons. Not that many 3 damage weapons out there.
Unless your guard.
There's not that many 3 damage weapons out there. Like, I don't know. I like spears. I think, to be honest, I think there's one weapon in this book, and it's the spear. Well, there's 2 weapons. There's a spear and there's the Watcher's Axe, which is on Trajan. Chop them up.
The shield. What does the shield give you?
+1
wound.
wound.
Yeah.
Just gets you to 4 wounds. Which
It doesn't give you like
offsets the 3
cover
damage.
or like +1 save or anything.
Nope.
Just the wound.
Just the wound. Because that's how what Storm Shields do now. Is They give you a 4-pin one unless you already have
Because
one,
the invulns is built in.
and then they give you +1 wound, which is not amazing. I'm not sold on it. I know the guys love it on Terminators because it takes you 3 wounds to 4.
And it's like you're taking the hammer with devastating wounds instead of what, lightning claws? You know?
Yeah, you take it there because of the hammer. It's incidentally +1 wound.
Yeah.
Thanks, Siege Roots.
Thank you. This next one is another one from Fyodor. Thank you, Fyodor. Another GK combo. BC Stern with 10 Paladins and popping Radiant Strike. 40 S6 AP 2D2 attacks with 6s, throwing out 3 mortal wounds. Why did they make a discontinued model
What?
this powerful?
Whoa, wait. BC Stern? What am I missing here? This is
Stern is a character.
Stern. Oh,
He's a
this
named
is
character.
Brother Captain Stern. Yes. What is where does extra damage come from?
I'm on it. Let's take a little
It's
peek.
like, I think it gives you extra strength. I don't think it gives you extra damage, does it? Or is this?
Give you an extra damage.
But no, this is good. So I will say, is it Radiant Strikes? No, there is a Holyden Soulfire is untargetable outside of 12 on any unit. So good. Radiant Strike, I am blanking on.
Did.
Oh, this is melee, dude. This is melee.
Grey Knights came out today.
It has to be melee.
Radiant Strike. 2 CP. Ooh.
Yeah.
Psychic weapons have devastating wounds. And I'll bet Brother Captain Stern gives the whole squad. No, your bolters are already psychic, aren't they? Brother Captain Stern. His ability. Exemplar of the Silver-Red Host. Critical wounds. The target suffers 1 mortal wound in addition. That's what does it.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Where does the damage 2 come from?
How do you make their weapons? How do you make their bolters
Strength 6?
psychic?
Maybe 2?
Is that another thing? How do you make their bolters psychic?
Paladins might have a psychic shooting attack. Double check. I don't think so. Only in purifiers, I think.
Paladin Squad They have Inner Fortitude as
No,
their
that's
psychic.
that's the
And then
shooting weapon.
Psy Cannons
No.
and Silencers are psychic, but the Stormbolter is not, which means you cannot
Yeah.
make their Stormbolters devastating because the strat requires.
Yeah, still good.
Devastating.
Still good tech though, because like the Gatling is a lot of shots. The Psy is a lot of shots. If you have a squad of 10, that's
Where's the AP2? Where's any of these rules coming from?
right.
What is happening?
Could you elaborate, Fyodor? I'm actually interested because this is very strong if they're able to do this. That's funny. We're bringing back Brother Captain Stern.
This is Fyodor does say this is melee attacks.
Okay. Oh, it's melee. Yeah. So it's melee attacks. It's melee
Range
attacks.
strike is
Yes,
the
yes, yes.
Melee attacks. Oh,
Got you.
We're dummies.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, that makes
Where
a lot
did
more
I?
sense. Okay.
Yeah. I my mind went somewhere else where I thought you were like deep striking in. No. Okay. So yeah, melee, very strong coming out of Grey Knights. It's just how do you get there? You know, Drago can get you there, but you know this combo requires Stern. You can't take both.
It's 2 CP for Radiant Strike. That's what, like, this Grey Knights are going to be so CP dependent.
Yeah.
They're going to be starved for command points because all their strats are absolutely bonkers. But you're going to be Mists of Dormammu every turn, right? You're going to be picking them up every turn.
Daimos.
That
Look,
should be Dormammu. They misspelled
it's,
Dormammu.
yeah, they
Let's be
really
honest.
misspelled it.
It was
Yeah.
Vapors of Dormammu.
Look, it is super strong, but it's very niche, right? But it's good that you're ready for it because like you can pop this strat if it comes up. If you need to take down a Primarch, you need to take down a Land Raider. You're gonna pop off, man. You're gonna pop off. So it's cool that they're able to do this. And you're gonna drop in a Terminator bomb like this from Deep Strike, and you're gonna threaten your opponent with a good time and Mist of Deimos, and you're not gonna do it, and then you're like, oh, I'm still here, gonna charge.
This is an average of close to 18 mortal wounds
Yeah, it's a lot.
into anything
Yep.
with no rerolls.
Which I mean, I agree with this 18 mortal wounds because it's melee.
it's
It's
2
hard to
CP.
make happen. It's 2 CP.
It's a huge, expensive. It's 10
it's
paladins.
It's like gonna be expensive to run, right? But it's not a squad of vanilla Death Watch Marines just shooting.
Yeah. Yeah.
But great combo. Thank you.
Very
I
cool.
gotta write these down, man. That's cool.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Thank you. This next one is from Fancy Panda. Thank you, Fancy. Loving 10 days of 10th, guys. I'm starting Grey Knights for my 10th army. Any recommendations to start off with? Have seen incinerators on Inceptors jumping out of rhinos just to shoot and get back in. Looks fun.
What?
You can't get
There's a
back
lot going on here. First of all, that's not Grey Knights. I'm offended. Oh, it's
Interceptors.
Interceptors.
You can't get back.
Not Inceptors.
You can't get back in the rhino.
You definitely can't get back in the Rhino, among other
You
things.
can't get back.
You also, but no, you can't put Inceptors in Rhinos, but you could definitely put Interceptors in Rhinos. You only get one incinerator, maybe 2 incinerators in that Interceptor
I can
squad.
tell you right now, you get 1 per 5.
1 per, yeah, so 1 Flamer. It's cool. Flamers are very strong in this edition because you can Overwatch with them. Awesome.
So this is going to be the 9th edition thing all over again,
Yeah.
where in 9th edition there was a time when Devout Push let you get back in a thing because it was a normal move.
Okay.
They had to fac it, and Interceptors say they make a 6-inch normal move, and they're going to have to fac it. They don't want you getting back in the Rhino. Don't do this.
I swear there has to be something on the transport page of that it says like you can't disembark and re-embark in the same turn. That has to be
hope
in
so.
there.
I hope
If
so.
this has happened so many editions now, they have to have it in the core rules. But I bet it's not.
They don't want you to do this. Don't do this. You're not supposed to be able to do this. It has firing ports. Just shoot your 2 incinerators out of the
That's
firing
true.
ports.
That's true.
Just shoot them out of the firing ports.
I like the Rhino tech because these are still good nemesis weapons that you can get into combat. Great movement, great targets. Way to get them into combat. Units to get for a 10th edition Grey Knight army. I am super sold on Terminators. I think the list to get right now and to build is going to be Librarians, Drago, in units of Terminator squads, probably small squads of Terminators.
You think?
And if you're gonna make a big block, have it be Drago's big block. I'm all for the 10 block, deep striking, 6-inch charge.
What do you think about Dread Knights? We haven't talked a ton about them. People have such weird opinions on Dread Knights.
Dread Knights? It's hit and miss. I feel like the shooting isn't as good. The AP is a huge problem. There's no longer a way to extend the range. They're flat 24 now. No way to bring it to 36.
Yep.
Huge. They're still flexible in the way they move. They have to take their melee weapon. You can't just drop it to,
To gun more?
To gun more. Everything's in it now. So I'm sure you have to pay for everything. You're gonna get in combat more often, but I feel like I couldn't justify, more than 1 or 2.
Yeah, but that feels right. That's a Grey Knight army.
That's actually,
1 or 2.
Yes. Super annoying. It does have a lot of guns. I like Purgation just for the flavor, but a Dread Knight deep striking 3 inches away from you and blasting a character is pretty mean.
And then just Mists of Dormammu away.
And just Mist of Deimos away. Whoosby washby.
Vapors of Dormammu. Thanks so much, Fancy Panda.
There's a lot of things here. But yeah, Terminators, characters. Boom.
Thank you. This next one is from Emmett again. Thank you, Emmett. What about using the bike move after the fight phase as a way to get a 12-inch move if your opponent goes first for basically a 12-inch advantage and change turn 1?
Nope. Where you have to be in combat to use it, right? You have to leave combat with it. I'll double check.
There's also, check the phasing as well, because we're seeing a lot of datasheet abilities are very phase locked and also turn locked. It usually says your opponent's turn in this phase or your turn in this phase. So you always got to be super careful. Even things that proc in your shooting phase, like slowing people down, don't work in Overwatch because it's technically not your shooting phase. So you have to be careful of these little things. I wouldn't be surprised if this is one of those cases.
What is the ordering of this book? Okay. It's like Custodes Infantry, Sisters Infantry, 1 character, some vehicles, some other like shield captains up here, and then there's some vehicles, and then there's the other shield captains down here.
Yeah.
Why?
They like they start by like having it make a little bit of sense, and then as soon as you think you know how it's gonna be ordered, they mix it up a little bit, just throw you off.
Yeah, if in addition, once per battle at the end of the fight phase, if this model's unit is within engagement range of 1 or more enemies, it can fall back. Or
so it has to
not
make
within engagement range, it can make a normal. So I guess you could turn a move.
Oh.
Is that worth? I don't think I still don't think it's good, and that should tell you something.
Yeah,
That's
it's a cool little tech if you do end up taking him. I think don't be discouraged about taking Praetors, but it's suboptimal, right?
Well, thank you all.
Yeah, thank you. This next one is from Soviet Comubot. Thank you so much. I showed up to the stream late. At the beginning, it sounded like you were saying Warden can only be taken in units of 3 or 6. Why is that? I think 3 to 6 in the index. I thought that meant 3 to 6.
Next.
Thank you so much, Soviet
Thank you so
Comubot.
much.
All will be apparent soon.
Yes.
It will all make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. This next one is from 101. No, 1001. No, 1,000?
It's 1,000 Suns. 1,001st Dusty Boy.
1,001st Dusty.
It's like a regiment.
Well, I was thinking like, yeah.
Because he's the Dusty Boys of the 1,000 Suns, and he's like he's the 1,001st.
Yeah.
He's like the newest 1,000 Suns.
He's like
1,001st
right.
Dusty Boy.
Yeah.
Hoping we get to see the golden and silver armored boys duke it out on the channel in the future for the Emperor.
That'd actually be a really good fight.
That's actually a good fight because you think the Grey Knights just outplay Custodes, but everything I am bad at, you capitalize on.
Yeah.
Like my AP and shooting, terrible. My amazing damage in combat, you just fight first.
And -1 damage.
And -1 damage.
And your mortal wounds.
Oh, 4-up invuln? Or 4-up feel no pain? Oh, no!
You don't even know karate, bro.
Oh my gosh, I didn't...
But you also capitalize on all the weaknesses of Custodes.
Yeah.
In that we're slow and
We're
can't be everywhere.
everywhere.
And you are everywhere and you're fast. So, like, I think it'll be a really dope game.
That's actually a cool game now.
Yeah.
Rematch!
Thank you.
Start over.
This next one is from Thundernuts. Thank you, Thundernuts. In what meta do you think axes prevail over spears?
If every unit in the game suddenly became a 3-up save T9, specifically that.
Specifically that.
Toughness 8 or 9.
That guardsman over there?
Also, he's T8 or 9 and has a 3-up or worse save.
Is the axe strength 9?
Axe is strength 9, but you lose
That's
an
a
attack.
high strength.
You lose an attack. You are -1 weapon skill. You lose an AP.
Yeah, but you're like, what, like you're like 5
so-
attacks down to 4 now?
Not yet so bad.
That's like,
You just run the numbers. Basis statistics. It's so bad.
you gotta feel it out.
I felt out how bad
Card
it
the
was.
cards.
It's so bad. It's such a tiny band of toughness that the strength even matters. And then you get 1 less attack and 1 less hit, or -1 to hit, which collectively is 2 less attacks.
You gotta think about the 4s, the T4s though, because you're strength 6 otherwise? No, strength 7?
7, yeah.
So you'll wound T4
But the
on
AP
2?
2 versus AP 1, huge difference. The axe goes down AP 1. It's actually bad in almost every case.
Yeah, the AP's a problem.
They just goofed. If it's AP 2 or like strength 10, so that it's wounding the T9 vehicles, all medium-sized vehicles on 3s, like now I'm in. But the way it's written, it's poo-poo.
Yeah.
Fix it.
That was like, you answered the question, but then immediately went to a rant.
I became a toddler. Thanks, Thundernuts.
Thank you.
It's getting bad.
We're halfway through the week.
I'm dead inside.
This next one is from Matthias
Pelk.
Matthias Pelk. Yes. Hey,
Oh.
could I have your opinion on Primaris infiltrators, seeing how many units / armies get deep strike rules? Would their 12-inch denied deep strike make them more useful than, let's say, incursors / intercessors?
100%. You got it. I think they're staples in any Marine army. I think you're taking at least 1, probably 2. Look, let me tell you something. Phobos Librarian. Boy, oh boy, you put this guy in a infiltrator squad. Now that infiltrator squad that you're going to put up in the middle of the board to screen cannot be targeted by a shooting attack outside of 12 inches. It is going to be tough to remove. That is cool. I think that's some good tech right there.
And it's actually a very flexible unit.
Yeah.
In the cases where your opponent wants to run at you and would be able to get within 12 and shoot them, like Custodes, you put them in the back. Then the lone operative keeps them alive. You can't crack them to get access to deep striking behind the Space Marines, which you want to do. Like, it's a unit that's just great all the time. It's never bad. Yeah. It's so flexible.
Right. It's gonna see use every game. It infiltrates, so like even if they don't have a ton of deep strikes, you're still utilizing it. And it's a troop with good OC. So it's not those intercessors or incursors or what's the other one? Reavers, not going to be completely useless, but they're going to have its own cases. Intercessors, I think, have sticky objective.
Also nice.
Also nice.
I think like 1 intercessor squad
Yeah.
is great.
Yeah.
Thanks, Matthias.
Thank you. This next one is from Senri. Thank you, Senri. Hey, Titans. Do you feel there is any way to be able to field Valks potently? I want to use my Skycav in reserve, but it seems not worth it to me.
I don't know.
Valkyries.
I'm not
the
used.
transport.
Right. I'm not used to the term Sky Cavalry.
Because
It's just like a second wave of, it's like the cavalry of air support. I don't
So
know.
this is like a military term. Like cavalry used to be fast stuff. It was horses.
Sure.
And
Yes.
then
As
we got
technology progressed,
mechanized cavalry, which
right.
is infantry in a troop transport.
Aye,
And then
aye.
you can have sky cavalry.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm looking up the data sheet
Okay.
because we definitely don't know what this does.
The Valkyrie, again, flyers. It could probably hover, which is a good thing. That means it can be obscured. Keeping it off the table for one turn could hurt. And then you have to strategic reserve it in, so it's coming from the edge. Is a little shaky. But I don't know. We'll have to see. I think I might have glossed over it because the weapons seemed a little lackluster.
What?
What do we got?
Grab, shoot, insertion. At the end of the opponent's move phase, one or more embarked units within this transport can disembark at the end of the opponent's move phase, provided each of those disembarking units has the deep strike ability.
Yeah.
When do you ever use that?
I mean, Tempestus famously had a strat to do this. Now you can always do it. It's built in.
Get out of your transport in the opponent's move phase?
Oh, in the opponent's move phase.
Why would you get out of your transport in the opponent's move phase? Why? What does this do even? What is this? What
Move
am I
phase is
looking
weird.
at? Why?
I don't know. You get,
If it was the end of the opponent's turn, maybe?
yeah, if it was opponent's turn, that would be big. You like steal the objective and stuff. But
like,
you just
why?
die.
I don't understand. How did your transport get to a place where this is relevant? And then you're like, hop, 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 get out right now in their turn, not our turn. We didn't want to shoot. We didn't want to be anywhere special. We actually just wanted to get out in your turn because we could.
Your whole army stops shooting so they can get out of the transport. Like it's like
I don't get it. If you ever wanted to do less with your units, well, boy, do I have an ability for you.
were the guns good at all? Maybe
No,
decent
it has
shooting.
Like
has like a laser, right? Like a laser talent or
it
something.
has the. Oh, it's gone. It has the multi-laser stuff. Like it has a multi-laser on the nose, and I think you can get missiles on it.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that it doesn't synergize with any of your strats. It's so focused on indirect. You're going to see very few benefit. It's going to be kind of like a lone ranger solo on its own type of thing. Synergizes well with Tempestus, but yeah, not much.
Thanks, Henry.
Thank you. This next one is from Seedroots. Thank you, Seedroots. So Eliminators give ranged weapons in the unit dev wounds if they remain stationary. Phobosliv can get dev wounds without taking hazardous checks.
Yes. That's it. Yep.
That's cool.
Because he has a psychic shooting attack
Yeah.
that goes to dev wounds if you.
Do you like the overcharge?
It's not crazy. I like it.
That's cool.
It's cool.
I mean, I wouldn't knock like these little one model shooting psychic attacks because they're good. Like they're not
good.
bad.
They're good. Standing still is a large penalty
Yes.
for the ability that Eliminators give you.
I will say Phobos Librarian is one of the models you don't have to be too afraid of hazardous checks because you take D3 mortals, or no, 3 mortals.
Flat 3.
Flat 3 mortals, and you're still alive. There's many other psychers that have a good chance to just die on these hazard checks. My psychers that I take in guard will just die. So
Dead.
I wouldn't be too worried. You're risking rolling. If you do it every turn, you're rolling 5 dice. You need 2 ones. I don't know.
Yeah, you're gonna be fine, right?
You'll be fine.
But the standstill is a big penalty. Like how often when I played Eliminators, I found that the move shoot move was way better because that's what they do. Yeah. Like when they have, and thankfully, finally, they made the bolt carbine, the sergeant weapon that lets you move shoot move, not just a worse version of everybody else's sniper rifle. His sniper rifle's as good, it's just shorter range, which I was really grateful for because it was always a trade-off of like, do I want 3 good sniper rifles or do I want 2 good sniper rifles and the ability to move, shoot, move? Well, now you can just get both.
Nice. Yeah, shooting without reprisal is quite good.
Thanks, Seedroots.
Thank you. This next one is from Just fishing with Justin. Fishing with Justin says, how do leaders with more movement than their bodyguard work? I.e. Lord Solar with Cadians. Also, Inquisitor Soup and Imperial armies for CP Gen.
Yeah, this is a good question because you're seeing this a lot, right? We saw it today with, I don't know, yeah, like Lord Solar could have been in that squad and outran his squad. There's also, gosh, what did I played something else too. I don't know, there's maybe some jump pack stuff. But you move model by model. The model that has the longer move moves longer. The models that don't have that move their move. So
they tried to avoid this.
Yeah.
They tried to put like Terminator characters with Terminators, jump pack characters with jump packs. Some of it got through, and it's just like flexibility, but it doesn't make the unit faster because you have to stay in coherency. So you can't move that much farther than the rest of your unit.
Right. Oh, you know what it was? You can put T-Suns. You can put a disc, a sorcerer, exalted sorcerer on disc with a rubric squad. 6 compared to 10 is weird. But it's not like you can have a team of discs. So
you could have like Zangor and Lighten on disc.
You can have Zangor and Lion, but an exalted sorcerer on disc can't be in a Zangor squad. Yeah. But yeah. Good question. Inquisitor Soup?
I like it. Just Inquisitors have ways to give you CP.
Yes.
We talked a little bit about this earlier.
Yeah.
I think they're great. You're going to see them a lot.
That's clutch, yeah.
Which is nice. They're cool models.
Thank you. This next one is from Soviet again. Thank you so much. No worries, guys. You're great. And I'm also getting a Spartan to be a land raider because that looked dope.
It does look dope.
Yes.
And it's big. It's Custodes size. They look cool.
Yeah. It's epic. It's like dope old, like OG. You're going to get style points.
Bring out the arcade.
The weapons look like the weapons you're taking. It's cool.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
This next one is another one from Fyodor. Thank you again. GK versus Custodes equals Nightcrawler versus Juggernaut. Can't wait to see that matchup.
That's amazing.
Dude, the Nightcrawler model's coming out.
Dude, is it really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's in the next few months, I think.
That's dope.
Dude.
Juggernaut. That's so accurate.
You gotta play this game.
That's cool. Mr. Dimos.
Yeah,
it's the Vapors of Dormammu, John.
Dormammu.
Officially on the channel now.
Mamu.
Vapors of Dormammu. Adrian's gonna hate that. If I call it Vapors of Dormammu, he's like, nobody knows what you're talking about. It was one random good talk. You can't keep going back to that. And I'm like, if I say it enough times, that's what it is.
Take your chocolate turtles and get out of here. Bet Shad doesn't know that one.
Only the members know. Thank you, Fyodor.
Yeah. So this next one is from Christian Pritchard. Thank you, Christian. Hi, guys. This will be my first edition, and the Harlequins have captured my heart. Do you guys think my beloved Jesters will be a comedy or a tragedy in the coming edition?
Look, the Death Jester plays many roles. Never mind, he only plays death. Just kidding. He's a Death Jester.
That's a very poor analogy.
My analogy immediately falling apart.
One part ever. He always is the same character.
He's actually, never mind. He's actually one of the like, for sure, set in his role, actually. I think you should be excited. I think we're seeing a lot of these characters have a lot of different sides to them that you're going to be able to do something. You're going to find a role for them. It's going to be death. It's going to be awesome.
This is going to be a great first edition for you to play. It's a blast.
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks, Christian.
Thank you all. This next one is from Simon Rees. Thank you, Simon. What do you guys think of adding Mysterious Guardian to a Knight Valiant? Short range, so not the end of the world. It's not around first turn.
I don't know what Mysterious Guardian is now, but that's the strategic reserve. You come in from the board edge. It might even be turn 1. So that's cool.
Mysterious Guardian. You get Deep Strike. End of opponent's turn.
Deep Strike.
End of opponent's turn. If you're not within engagement, you can fade away. So you get Deep Strike and you get uppy downy once.
Mist of Dimos. Mist of Dormammu.
Vapors of Dormammu.
That's crazy.
So
That's so much better now.
I think it's very cool. The but
That's way better than it was before.
there's a lot of enhancements that I like. So my Knight list for later today has 3 enhancements.
but not
Because-
this one?
Well, but John, Banner of Makaris Triumphant is literally just how you play the game. It's sticky objectives for that guy.
Oh.
Knights, I don't think, can play the game without this. So
Yo,
step 1.
Knights are strong.
Step 1, you need the banner. Step 2, Mythic Hero. Do you know how Bondsman abilities work, John? Every Knight datasheet has a very cool ability, and it's called the Bondsman ability, and they're all different.
Yeah.
And it's you and a little buddy, your little bro.
Yeah.
It's an anime. You and your little bro get an ability. You pick an armiger,
Yeah, you got a
within 12.
sensei and you got a yeah.
a senpai.
No.
So the Questoris and the armiger both gain the ability.
Yeah.
As your buddies. You have a buddy system.
Yeah.
Mythic Hero, you get 2 buddies. You're so cool.
Dude, 2
You pick
buddies?
2 buddies out of a crowd.
Yo, if you were a
Mythic
Sith
hero.
Lord, you're immediately breaking the rule of 1 or rule of 2. Because you can't have 2, man. You can't have
2.
3. You can't have 3.
Too many.
There's always 1 apprentice and 1 lord.
Well-
1 master.
Well, he took on 2 apprentices.
Oh my
you try to stop him. He's a Mythic Hero. So that one's really good. And then Unyielding Paragon, reduce AP by 1 when attacking it.
These are
These
so
are nuts.
good.
They're just off the wall insane.
Brian, no. Run. He's like,
I've become too
what?
powerful.
Are you sure? What? You're too strong. Right?
I know, dude. I'm so up on Knights. Everybody's been telling me forever that, oh, Knights can't play the game.
Those
They're
are
gonna be so
all
weak.
auto takes.
Oh, they're terrible. And I'm like, yeah, they're not terrible though. They're gonna be amazing. They're gonna kick you in the face, and you're gonna cry a little bit.
This gatekeeper is like, it's like Attack on Titan, dude. This is like,
So good.
these walls are so high.
Oh, they're so good. I'm putting the Mythic Hero on a Warden. So the Warden, you guess what his little buddy system ability is? Yes, you'll never
A
guess.
warden?
Warden.
Reroll everything.
No, -1 damage.
What?
Yeah, he's gonna give himself and 2 little guys -1 damage. It's so good. It's so good. They're insane.
That's cool.
Oh, I'm
He's
so
like he like teaches the guy of the way of the -1
Shows him
damage.
the ropes.
That's so
He
cool.
puts his arms around him. He's like, guys, get under my wing. Extends his cape. Get under here. That's so
You should put capes on all your knights.
Oh,
You
I
should
have a-
put.
I have
You
a
should
knight
put.
costume.
You should, you should put all your capes on all of
Brian's models?
Brian's models. Yeah.
I love Thanks, Simon.
We have another one from Martin. Thank you. So this is I just kind of combined them together.
Here we go.
'Cause first one was, so can we hear about what happened in your warm-up match with the Golden Emperor Sponge Bath Boys against the Archangels at the weekend with Brian? But you already answered that. That was, yeah.
I mean, I could
We
gloat
can,
more.
Yeah,
we can
yeah.
always
I can
gloat
gloat more.
You can
Yeah,
gloat more.
Yeah, go ahead and go.
Yeah, so it was really cool. 10 Death Knight Terminators came in. They were like, oh, we're Dark Angels. We're so cool. And their voice cracked a little bit. And then Trajan was like, no, you are not. And he intervened, and his 10-man squad killed literally all of them in one fell swoop, and it was dope. That's the gloating.
Well, what kind of shooting
wait,
did he
there was
have?
one.
No, there we go.
What kind of shooting did he have in that army?
All kinds of shooting.
Really?
It's just not relevant.
Wow.
It doesn't matter.
Jeez.
And then the second one was just caught up. What about Plasma and Scepter spam as Dark Angels against Custodes? You waited until Custodes were good to face up against Archangels. John, do something.
I'll take his army soon. Don't worry.
So the problem with that strategy in this matchup is -1 damage is pretty punishing. You don't have that many shots. And -1 damage taking you from 3 to 2 lowers your efficiency.
And it's
Twofold?
all telegraphed too. So it's like they would have to be pretty niche. You'd have to line up 2 units maybe to switch targets, but you have so many buffs. Like you just pop, you could just pop a 4-up Feel No Pain on a Warden, and then I target something else. You pop -1 damage.
Well, and
There's-
like, what are the 2 targets that I'm presenting you? It's Trajan's squad, who I'll spend command points.
Yeah.
And it's a captain's squad, who gets it for free, the same strat. So the -1 damage hits you twice.
Yeah.
You get bopped on the head twice.
That's your options: 4-up Feel No Pain or -1 damage. There's never
Or both. You
or
could go to
both
the
or
Wardens
both.
and
You
I'll do
could
both.
you could somehow make a
do
mistake and run into both. Yeah.
It's brutal. Dude. They're good. Thanks, Martin.
Yeah, it's rough. It's on you as the Dark Angel player to think through it and really squeak out something.
Keep workshopping it.
Yeah.
Come back to us.
That's not bad. I mean, it's 345 points of Inceptors.
Yeah?
Oh, never. No,
No.
just kidding. Who knows? Who knows? Never mind. Of how many? I don't know.
Thanks.
Thank you. So, next question is from Siege Roots. So, what knight are you taking in your Imperium list? Or will it be 3 Armigers? Does the knight get their datasheet, abilities, Supermelta, Lance goodness?
To the knight? The abilities on the datasheet are for the knights that you are playing. So my list, which you'll see soon, is 3 big knights and 4 small knights. Yep. And then, do the knight get their datasheet with Super Meltalance? Goodness. They do. They get the abilities that are on the datasheet are the abilities that you get. If you have a clarification for this one, Siege Roots, I'm struggling to figure out what you're asking here. The bondsman abilities affect both knights, if that's what you're asking. The Armiger and the Questoris both get the ability.
That's big.
It's very big. It means if you don't goof, I like that it's a very thematic army now of buddy system. If you can't kill all the big knights, you can kill all the small knights so they don't get their bondsman abilities anymore. Because it's a buddy system. So if you kill all the Armigers, they don't have a target for their bondsman ability, so they don't get it. Which is cool.
Interesting. Yeah, it seems like big knights are just the target always. I don't know.
Yeah? Big knights are the target?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
They're high. They're toughness 12. They're chonkers.
It's yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
All right, thanks,
Knights are tough.
Thank you.
Knights are good.
This one is from Seekag. Thank you. A couple of weird rules questions. With Angaunt and Tyrant in unit, what toughness do you use? Have to slow roll. How do anti-monster and infantry work?
So for toughness, I have an easy answer. You always use the toughness of the bodyguard unit. When you target the unit, if a bodyguard exists, you will use the toughness of the bodyguard for the whole way through. Which means if you have some bleed over onto the Neurotyrant, tough. Like that's too bad for him. You use the toughness of the bodyguard until entire activation is done. Once he's on his own, and you target just him, then you use his toughness. In terms of how do anti-monster and anti-infantry work, we've been kind of thinking that all the keywords, it becomes a soup of keywords. So like, if you put a Psyker in a squad, the squad has the Psyker ability keyword. If you put a monster in a unit, does it gain the monster keyword? I don't know.
I don't know, man. That's a tough one. I honestly can't tell you for sure, but in that same logic, yes, right?
Right? It feels bad and weird, but I think that might just be how it works.
Yeah, you would have to slow roll the saves.
Yes.
Because your 6-up invulnerable will go to a 4 on the Neurogaunt, and then of course, as the shooter, you would have to slow roll the damage. Up to a certain point. Oh yeah, up to a certain point.
Mm-hmm. Good question. These are the things that GW needs to address.
Right, and there's things we're running into these new things every day, so it's good.
Thanks, dude.
And this next question, and possibly last question, is from Martin Easterman again. So, I started a Tyranid army, 2 Qs. What is the laziest way to play them? Just want to paint an effective army. Also, can they beat Custodes?
I love it. How can I beat specifically Bridger at any given moment? Oh man, that's a hard one. I want to say, like, the most brain dead, maximum Tyrannofexes, maximum Trigons. You could do Carnifex spam, but they're not the most optimal. Like, they're not like amazingly good, but against Custodes.
So Monster Mash is kind of what you're saying.
Yeah,
Monster
Monster
Mash.
Monsters. Yeah, Monster Mash.
And I think that is a strategy. It's a very skewed strategy.
Yes.
But it's sort of like you become a Knights list. It's like, well, do you have enough las cannons? If you don't have enough las cannons, I'll just win the game.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Can it be Custodes? I don't know. We haven't played it. That's actually really hard to predict because Custodes aren't amazing at bringing down large things, but you're not really addressing any of their weaknesses, which is shooting, particularly indirect shooting. Like the Custodes can just play line of sight against all of your slow-moving monsters that can't go through walls. Yeah. And then they get to you, and you can't fall back and shoot, and most of your big guns are blasts. You can't shoot them in combat, and then the Custodes just poke you in the eye and give you paper cuts until you die.
Lots of spore. No, because spores do mortal wounds. Flying. Which, because venom cannons? Eh?
I don't know, man.
Flyers?
Oh, like a harpy?
Like a harpy? Yeah. Right? Or no, that's not a harpy. It's not a harpy.
A harpy's huge.
What's the actual like normal flyer? It's a. Oh, I'm so blanking on it. It was so meta for a while. We even had one in the studio for a bit.
I think isn't that a harpy?
It might be a harpy.
It has 2 heavy venom.
There's a
cannons?
bigger one though. Yeah, it's 2 cannons and it poops out spores. I think it's a harpy. Yeah, maybe a harpy. Eh? Maybe some no line of sight shooting. Maybe some guard.
Are they still indirect?
Still indirect. Not as good. I don't think there's any AP on it. But it might slow you down.
No, that's a
Might
problem.
slow you down.
No, trade doesn't slow down. Trade don't care nothing about nobody for
Oh,
nobody. For nothing.
just kill that squad first. It's fine. That's a good question, man. I don't know. Oh, zoanthropes. A lot of zoanthropes. They get up close, you just las cannon them.
Yep.
Boom. Actually, zoanthropes.
That's something.
That is something.
That's something.
Yeah.
I think we did it.
I think we did it. Uh-oh.
Well, Seatrich did come through and clarify what they were referring to. They were referring to knights, taking knights as free blade.
They still have the ability on the sheet, but it doesn't do anything because you can only take 1 big knight or 3 small knights, which means you can't ever activate your bondsman ability because you have no target. That's my understanding. Is all bondsman abilities require you to have a big knight, a Quaestorus, and an armiger, and then they it's a mentorship program.
Yeah.
It's like big brother, big sister. Were you part of? Did you ever do that as a kid? Were you a big brother?
No. Yeah.
I did it because you have to do community service as a kid to get into college, and that was my community service of choice.
I was part of like the Rotary Club at my high school.
I forged my community service.
No,
Yeah.
Lindsay,
That's
you did
awesome.
not say that publicly on the
That's
internet.
awesome.
What?
I was definitely the kid to do that.
Really, I mean, I had my sister sign off on it. It was,
That's amazing.
there you go.
I didn't realize Lindsay was so mischievous.
We're talking about high school, Lindsay.
Yeah, it was high school. It was,
She was all black clothes,
Dying.
had like a streak of like red or green.
You know the show is live. It goes out to thousands of people.
No, I would.
I mean, it was just like high school.
I would totally do that too as a kid. But I was in a Rotary Club, so I might as well get like a piece of paper signed off saying I was
You
there.
know, Willow says slay, Linz. Thank you, Willow.
Heck yeah.
Chad, if you're a cop, you have to tell us, okay?
It was just for high school.
Get her now.
And it wasn't to like get into anything. It was just
Yeah,
my
yeah.
high school
She
required.
just
a
wanted to
certain
graduate,
amount.
man.
Well,
Yeah.
I get that. I get
thank
that.
you,
Okay.
John.
I get that. Dude, you don't even know how many math tests I cheated on. Like,
Jonathan,
dude,
stop
you
it.
don't even.
John, we are a children's.
Dude, I don't even know if I would have. Chad knows that I didn't pass algebra. Like, not actually. Not actually. On paper, I did. Good. Google's a heck of a thing.
I got through algebra, like barely. I got through algebra, and then I went to like the like
Business calculus?
Maybe senior math,
Yeah.
which was just like how to do your taxes. But let's just kind of hang out and like
I would
walk
kind
down to
of
the ice cream
appreciate
shop down the way.
if I gotten that. See,
But
I
we didn't
could've-
learn
yeah.
anything.
wow.
I think there was one day where we like pushed all the desks aside and did like Pilates or something.
Nope.
It was a weird class. I went to a weird school, but
It was like phys ed in math.
in math.
But I wish somebody had taught me to do taxes. Because
Yeah,
taxes
that's
are complicated.
I
teach
know,
you that,
right?
Taxes
man.
are hard.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, we do have another question. This is from Martin Easterman. Thank you, Martin. If Custodes are amazing, does this mean a new plastic models are about to be released? Is this a good army for time-conscious adults to start?
Yes, it always has been, secretly in the background. It is one of the cheapest armies to build, because there's not many boxes, and traditionally you don't need to buy many of them.
Yep.
It's an easy army to build. There's not many boxes, and you don't need to build many of them. It's an easy army to paint. There's not many boxes, and you don't need to paint many of them.
That's true.
It's straightforward. You know what you're trying to do. Trying to charge them and not die. I think it's a great and easy on the back. You don't have to move many models because there's not many boxes,
Back.
and you don't have many of them.
Yeah.
So it's like
You've nailed several like factors here.
it's a great army. Nobody ever listens to me. It's a great army. Just go out and get Custodes today. You'll thank me later.
There's health factors here. There's cost.
Time, money, enjoyment of life. They're high on the
Amazing.
equity scale of all
Yeah.
of them.
You can argue environmental, right? Less plastic.
Less plastic, less packaging,
It's true.
less toxic paints,
There you go.
less to throw away.
Custodes are now the green option.
Less to throw away when you decide that you hate it when GW
Oh no!
nerfs your army.
Oh no!
Please don't throw away your armies, guys. It blows my mind that people do that.
Well,
Yeah. Thank you. So I'm gonna make a suggestion
Yeah.
of a cutoff
Yeah.
time at
Yeah,
some
we can
point.
say right now. Any additional super chats
been
are going into the
going-
next stream.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cutoff is now. Okay. Okay. Because they keep coming.
does
in.
that mean? Okay, we're keeping.
They're all going into the next stream.
Okay.
Yes.
After this, no more.
But thank you, chat, for your.
We appreciate the support.
Helps a lot.
We need to prep for the next show
Yeah,
and eat lunch.
And eat. Yes. I
that's important.
think 2 of us are in the next one. So. Or
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I'm
seriously, you guys need to
Oh,
eat.
me and Lindsay. Oh,
Yeah.
You guys
We're gonna
are
have a
doing
great day.
double
It's gonna be a good
double.
day. We got this.
yeah.
Go.
Okay. So this is from Dwight of the Dead.
Yeah.
Good stuff this week. We looking forward to Xenos tomorrow?
Yes, I am your Xenos man. Let me take you on this journey. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be cool. We're gonna have some awesome dynamic matchups ready and waiting for you. When you return, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Be excited. Get hyped. It's gonna be
Xenos Day.
awesome. Yeah.
Thank you, thank you. So now we do have, let's see. I could do this in a 2-parter real quick.
How
Two-parter.
did we go from almost like we were done, and then they're just like,
Look, John,
I
I riled up chat.
You just got right. I got riled up. You got everyone's riled up.
Look, I say
We
I
might have
make
broken some laws. I don't know.
inflammatory remarks sometimes. I can say things that upset people. It's not one of my better qualities. I know.
Okay,
Whoa, that's a
this is
long
the last
okay.
one. This is another 2-parter from Martin Easterman. So this, oh,
I didn't give you a number.
yeah, there was no number
I
set.
would. You don't even know.
It sounded like a number, but it was actually John speaking in a different language.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that might be a number, but yeah. Nope.
You can't put a
Oh.
character in there. Wait, the part of that was asking. There's no character that can go in that squad. Nothing can go in an Inceptor squad.
Wait.
The other half of the question.
Oh, wait.
It's okay.
Go back.
No, don't worry about it. It's okay. It was a silly. He was being silly. You can't put a character in there.
Wait. What was the question?
No, it was about points. Don't worry, John.
Oh
Just-
no.
just
But the
keep going.
Incept. Okay.
You can't put any characters in Inceptors. It's not a thing. You're not allowed to do that.
Never know. Inceptor Lieutenant.
But then, this last one. Wait. 3 squads, Inceptors, plus 2 Repulsor Executioners, filled with Devastator combined with something. John, talk to Brian and fix, please.
I mean, this is an approach.
Oh, he put it together. Yeah.
This is an approach, but I don't. these things are not cheap. This is expensive, and you don't have much left with which to play the game.
Oh yeah.
And every one of these pieces that you lose, you're gonna be sad. So,
Look, I'm gonna try to put together a rematch for you, Martin. We gotta help out these Dark Angels, Ryan's Dark Angels.
I will say this army is very easy to line of sight. You put a lot of eggs in the basket of 2 repulsor executioners with devs in them, and
The repulsor, I mean, it's more mobile than just Devastators.
yes,
Its Inceptors are
super mobile.
mobile until they're not.
Till they're dead.
Yeah. Oh, 2 repulsors. Wow.
Yeah, the 2 is what I think you've gone too far. 2 repulsor executioners I think is too much. If you like gunboats, I would run 1 big one like a repulsor executioner, and then 2 or 3 smaller ones. When we were doing Space Wolves against Death Watch, we'd considered Land Raider plus 2. What are they? What are they? No. What's Kill Shot? It's
Oh, Predator.
Predator. We considered 1 Land Raider and 2 Predators, or 3 Predators. We were trying to balance, like, okay, I'm bringing a Land Raider and the Goof Plane. We don't want these too many indestructible vehicles. Like, 2 Land Raiders might be too much. It's hard to balance. It's a strange, but 2 repulsor executioners is too much in one basket. I would argue they'll just line of sight you, or blow it up, and then you're like, really, it's sad. You're sad. You're gonna be sad.
Yeah.
So 1, go 1. Did we do it? Is that all?
Yeah,
Boom.
that's it. That's it.
Boom! Look, chat, thanks for joining us. We are going to have a game in less than 2 hours at 6 p.m. PST. Please join us then. We're going to have Brian and Bridger facing off. Lindsay's producing. Brian's playing his AdMech, and he's going against the Imperial Knights. We are hyped. 2 awesome armies. Thank you so much. We'll catch you next time on the tabletop. Bye.